Hi everyone,
Hi.
it's Linda and Michelle. It's a very cold evening.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
as cold as it's been, but still probably in the teens now. And we went to see the French movie, A Private Life. It was in French with subtitles.
It was subtitles. It wasn't heavy duty subtitles. It was, to me, I thought it was very easy to
Mm-hmm.
read. There wasn't, two paragraphs of words you had to read.
Right.
They were quick sentences. But Jodie Foster was the star,
Mm-hmm.
and she was a psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it was a very it's an interesting movie for sure. It was very interesting, but it took you around in circles, kind of, to me. The beginning of it was one of her patients had died, and they were claiming it was suicide, which she did not think that was it from everything she heard about knew about her patients and their sessions together. So she went on a hunt to figure out exactly what happened to this woman. And that's where it kind of, to me, it got a little crazy. I don't know if you felt it was a little crazy too, because she went to a hypnotist, and she was exploring her past.
Well, it was, yeah. I think the problem I had with it was that it was hard to attach the emotions to the language because I don't speak
It's
French. And so there was some humor in it that was quite comical, but you didn't really know where the punchline fell because you were reading it out of context with the picture. Um, but I thought it was easy reading also.
Yeah.
It as Michelle said, it's a psychiatrist. Her name is Lillian, and she has a patient passed away, and then she also has a patient who has been coming to her for 9 years and figures he spent $40,000 to quit smoking, and never managed to quit, and went to a hypnotist once and quit, and now he's like angry, he wants his money back, he's going to sue and all this stuff, right? And so she's got these two things going on at the same time, and she goes to the funeral of the patient who passed away, and the husband tells her to get out.
Yeah, he had nothing to do with her, but she was kind of asked to go by the daughter.
Yes.
The daughter was Valerie, and she came to this Lillian, the psychiatrist's home, and asked her to come to the funeral, but the father wanted her out.
Yes. And when she left this funeral, she started crying, like tearing up. And she didn't know what the heck was going on.
Yeah, kind of odd.
She couldn't make sense of the tears. Like, they would just not stop. But she was, like, in her head, not crying, like, what's going on? And her ex-husband is an ophthalmologist, so she goes to his office, and he says, honey, he does an exam, and he says, honey, they're tears. And she doesn't want to cry. She's like talking to patients, and she's just like in her own world crying. And so she decides to go to the hypnotist that her other patient went to, because she thinks he's going to stop her from crying in one session, which the hypnotist does.
It kind of happens.
But the hypnotist takes her on a guided imagery, and it's almost a hallucination for her or something, but she goes through this passageway during this hypnosis that it takes her to an earlier part of her life, or a separate life, like a life before this life.
Yeah. She was someone else.
Yes.
She was a cello player.
Yes, in an orchestra.
And the woman who died, her former patient, I should say, was also in the
Yes,
orchestra.
sitting right next to her. And they were lovers. And she had fathered the child.
Because evidently she was a man
But she...
back in those days. That was what I thought.
Oh, I didn't get that at all.
I thought, because I thought she was wearing the tuxedo. She wasn't wearing a pretty dress like the other lady was.
That's true, I guess. I don't know. I hadn't made that sense out of it.
Well, as soon as the lady said, "You're the father of my child," I mean, okay.
Okay. Well, the woman had, and it had been that this woman was the former patient, had told her that her husband was not the child and was not the father of her child. So, anyhow, so then she sees her son, and he's like part of like the militia, and comes in, and then the husband, the woman's husband, is the conductor, and he shoots his wife. It's just weird.
Like I said, it was going around in circles.
Yes.
And
but it did stop her tears.
It did. And
she was amazed. She's like wiping her face.
I don't know if we need to tell you the ending of it, really. but she became a better person, let's just say.
Yes, she did.
In the end.
She did. I mean, and
after all this trauma that she had to go to get there.
And she went on a search to find out, who killed this patient, because she didn't believe she committed suicide. And that had some twists and turns, too, along the road. And she learned a lot about herself through that, a lot of self-discovery through that time. And I think she became a much better therapist.
Yeah, it seemed that way.
And she became a much better mother and a much better ex-wife, friend, whatever. And a lot of twists and turns, but it's done. It's hard to attach emotion to it when it's in French and you're just reading the subtitle. That was my feeling.
Yeah, and if you are proficient in French, it'd be a good experience.
Yes, you'd probably really love it.
And maybe you've done that in the past.
Yeah.
But, it was a different kind of movie, but it was.
I liked it.
It kept your attention for sure because of all the little twists that were happening, and you weren't sure where they were taking you.
And there's some really funny parts.
Yeah,
like when she's in the police station trying to explain to them what's going on, and they're looking at her, "Lady, were you drinking?" "Yes, but is there anything wrong with that?" And they like couldn't understand her.
There was a bit of comedy here and there.
And then when she was telling her son over dinner about the hallucination, as though it was like, this happened and this was your previous life, and he's looking at her like she's crazy. It
it did sound that way. Unless you were there. But anyway,
how would you rate it?
I'm still getting a little confused with our new rating system, so I'm gonna say a 3.5.
Okay, I'd go with a 3. So there you go. Especially if you know French, you'd probably really like it.
Yeah.
If you're just looking for something that's kind of...
And Jodie Foster's always good.
Yes.
She's always good to watch.
And if you're looking something that's not super heavy and, you probably would enjoy this one as well. If you go see it, tell us what you thought, because I'd really be interested in other people's thoughts.
All right.
So that's it. That's what we have for you for right now. And we will be back very soon with some more.
Okay. See you next time. Bye.
Take care.